Hey, what's up everybody? It's Lids, and we're back for some more Hades 2, and last time we tried one of, if not our highest fear runs ever, using the hidden aspect on the black coat, and we made it to the rival fight against Kronos with this aspect, which gave us a prophecy completed. However, although we did make it to the last phase of the rival Kronos fight, which we had never seen before, we did lose in that fight. So, some good things about that run. Unfortunately, though, we did not make it all the way through. We still have yet to defeat rival Kronos. As for what we have planned for this run, though, we do now have the resources, and we just got the intel necessary to craft both the hidden aspect on the axe. That one was technically a run or two ago when we got those resources, but we just figured out what the secret aspect is for the torches. And if we look at what direction the nightmare would send us, it looks like axe we'd want to go up, whereas torches we'd want to go down. The number is a little bit lower for the axe, but I'm assuming that for both of those weapons there will once again be a prophecy to get to the final room of the underworld with the hidden aspect, so we'd kind of like to go down if possible with those, so maybe that's a reason to go with the torches this time around, as those will take us down. So, although it's a little more recent, I think we try this aspect of Supe that I was just looking up. Apparently this is Incan, where this entity comes from. So you have the Devil Sparks, which also enhance your rush boon, and apparently it's the Incan god of the underworld, so kind of like the Incan equivalent to Hades in a way. So what does this mean? We have an alternate moveset. We fire automatically. With what? Charged attack and charged special. Rain hell for 4 seconds. Okay. And then our rush boon damage goes up 10%. That looks like that's the thing that gets stronger the more that we rank this up. So having a build that is designed entirely around a rush boon, I'm not sure how I feel about that. There was that one Chaos Trial that had an absolutely incredible rush boon centric build, but that was with a bunch of stuff that we probably would not be able to get in a normal run. So let's unlock this here.
Grant me the aspect of Supai.
Supai.
Everybody get an aspect now?
Oh. Oh, I see. Yeah, I was like, I'm not pressing any buttons. What's happening? No, this is the automatic shooting part. The damage is low. Can't tell. Hold on. If we shoot the projectile, that's 15. But if you hit him with one of the rotating ones, that might be when it deals 10. So the damage is low there, but it is constant. Now, what happens if I attack? There is no attack button. If I just spam the attack button, we do a dance. Okay. What about special? Same thing. Cast is probably the same as it usually would be. Okay, but then if we do a charged attack, what happens? Oh. Okay. Then charge special. To be honest with you, I saw that the damage went up. Okay, it looks quite similar, though. Mechanically, it's not that different from just letting them circle around you. So, I guess, thinking about it now, the dash boon also getting bonus damage makes some sense, because it seems like you're going to be running around a lot like this, and may not be pressing too many attack or special buttons, unless you have time to do one of the charged attacks. So, this is probably going to be a very funky sort of build that we're running on this, but we'll give it a shot. And then I think we probably upgrade this a lot. We have 21 Nightmare. So I think we go for it. Maybe maxing this out. Give us 5% extra damage with each level.
Awaken hidden power.
Anything to say about that one, Skelly? No? Alright, then the last one costs a little bit more.
Demonic light of Supai.
Of course, hopefully we can get some more Nightmare. This will not be the bonus bones weapon. Unfortunately, that would be the blades, which I am usually a fan of, but we don't have any particular reason to be using those this time around outside of that. So we'll go with this, and then I guess we'll just confirm. I assume that the prophecy is going to request that we go down with this aspect, not up. That was kind of the whole reason for choosing this one. Lowest steps, the aspect of Supai. Okay. So we will do that then. We will try to, at least. But I don't really know how we want to build this one. So the dash boon is going to be really important. Outside of that, you could argue the attack and the special boon are less important because, well, actually, yeah, what does this automatic attack count as? Like, these rotating orbs. Is that affected by our special boon and then the very close range projectile that we automatically shoot out? Like that? Is that technically the attack? Because that would have an influence on how we want to approach our boons. But I don't know. I really don't know. I feel like having a Demeter freeze, as is so often the case, could be really helpful, because that way we can more safely run up into close range, and whether that's also the damage dealer or something else is the damage dealer, I couldn't really tell you. So that's the one thing I can think of. Outside of that, no clue how we approach this. Obviously a hex could be good, but that doesn't really directly affect the weapon aspect that we're using here. So I guess we start with the gold purse. I don't know, that's usually our go-to. I am intrigued by these two, but I think they may warrant having a pretty dedicated run. And this may not be the time to do that. So let's just double check. Here we need 10 fear. So going triple rival plus 2 more of something else would be enough. And I think we had done triple rival plus a couple of health upgrades on at least one previous run. This seemed like a decent combo, but I think it was on a weapon aspect that had a lot more damage than this one. Seemingly, at least. Because the basic attacks are quite low damage, so I'm a little concerned about increasing enemy health, but it's still only 20%, so that feels like that's not too bad. So maybe we give this a shot. We head down, and I have no clue how well we are going to do with this. I feel like it could go horribly wrong, or it could be amazing. It's just very, very different. Oh. Okay, now Aphrodite is interesting. Admittedly, I did not double-check our Arcana cards, so I'm just kind of hoping we have ones that we like here. I think this is the usual set. Aphrodite is interesting. The damage is obviously the highest, but it is limited to very close-range stuff. I feel like there's a decent chance we could get some close-range stuff with this build, though.
Gorgeous, you won the war for us. At least, I think we won. Perhaps we didn't if these ugly satyrs and the like are not about to leave yet, but you definitely did do something. Oh, this is all too much.
Thanks, I guess? Okay, well that is usually one of the boons that we are very keen to pick up, so I think we take our chances on it. I don't really know what qualifies as an attack with this aspect, so I have no clue if that helps us at all. It might not. Okay, it is seemingly the little projectile that has close range, but it fires automatically. So yeah, I've not pressed any... Ow. I did not press any attacking buttons. I was just walking for that entire room, for context. So that's interesting. Oh, also, wait, we have Phrenos? Okay, I'm pretty sure I was just double-checking what the level was on all of our familiars, and did not necessarily intend to take Phrenos, but that's why we started with 100 life. I was kind of wondering why it was that high. Would I have chosen Phrenos, given the choice? No, probably not, if I'm being honest. But we will try to make the most of it. Yeah, these guys kind of feel like they are copying what we're trying to do here, and I don't appreciate that. Ow. It's pretty hard to damage enemies without getting hit, which is kind of what I expected to be the case, and that is why I was saying Demeter would be very useful. There's a little more life while we're at it. Oh, well, just ask and you shall receive. Chaos as well. It's early enough that this is probably good timing for it. Okay, so if we do this, that was supposed to be a charge attack. It's a little bigger. Other than that, I don't know. That's a charge special for you. This room is a little more crowded than I would like it to be. I think the cast is going to be pretty important here for freezing enemies, kind of, sort of. Which is, at least until we get this Demeter boon, pretty important. Okay. I guess this could be a really good run for, I think, the Chaos boons that make you take damage when you use your attack or special. As long as you don't automatically damage yourself every second, and you only damage yourself from using the charged attacks, then that'd be great. So it's either the best or the worst for that. It might not be worth taking that risk.
Such a foreboding night this is. The air is thick with the death and decay of your father's realm, and the desolation I have wrought. The pale moon can scarce cut through.
We have not yet seen Selene. Should I be reading into this? Does that mean we're not going to see any Selene tonight? We can swap for a heroic rarity attack boon. Have our charge attack deal even more damage? I don't know. I mean, yeah, we're going to be relying pretty heavily on that charge attack, I would think. I think we go with this. I mean, yeah, I think the special and the cast would be the two things we'd really want from Demner, because those are the ones that rotate around us for the special, and the cast is just behaving normally. So, I guess we go with this, otherwise we could have rerolled. I have no clue how we are going to approach boss fights. I'm a little concerned about that. I'm a little concerned about everything on this run. This is already feeling very weird. Oh, okay, hold on. At least there's a fishing spot. We can benefit from that, if nothing else.
Victory.
There we are.
Come with me.
Okay, oh, and a little bit of that. Okay. So, there was a fate prophecy, the main fate prophecy, that we progress by getting to know certain people, which I'm starting to read more into that language. That really seems to suggest that you need to gift things to those people to learn more about them. One of them very much seemed to be Chaos, although I think we may have actually gotten that one already completed, which is a little strange, because we haven't gifted that much to Chaos. So, I guess I'll give one more, just to play it safe. Though I do think we have already progressed that subcomponent of that prophecy.
I know such sweetness as this nectar is never to be taken for granted, almighty Chaos. Please, it's yours. Wondrous creations such as this are only possible because of you.
Such gestures are unnecessary to the arrangement between us. If this is an act of supplication, then simply speak your mind. Although I sense no deeper motive presently.
Okay. Now... Oh, okay, hold on. That is a new prophecy foretold. Even though we already... Yeah, there's no symbol for that before. So that's interesting. Very good that we did gift to Chaos there. In that case, curious what that one is. As for this boon, though...
I understand your brother has returned. Perhaps he shall come visit me again as once he did. Whichever mark he does not choose, he may receive from me instead.
Oh. Okay. We sprint slower, afterward we use less magic. Charge moves make us take damage, afterward we gain max life. Whenever we take damage, we're stunned. Afterward, our charge moves are faster. This one does have the prophecy completion. This is another run where, once again, it feels like probably doesn't make sense to push the limits with unconventional things just for the sake of prophecy completion. Because I think our sprint is going to be pretty important. Yeah, we have a bonus sprint damage once we get a sprint boon, at least. So I'm thinking it's one of these. The charge attack, I don't know if we can afford to get rid of that, but we're also going to get hit a lot. So the downsides of both of these are potentially bad. I'll go with this, though.
I see no reason to refute.
I think it's just slightly safer. It means we're going to have to play very cautiously, though, because that's pretty much the only way that we can attack actively is by using charge attacks, at least until we get a damaging cast or a damaging sprint boon. Or a hex. Just need to passively wander around like this and try not to get hit by all their projectiles. What happens if I do sprint? Still goes. Still circles around us. Yeah, so, ooh, it's a little hard to turn if you are sprinting. So, I am concerned about how long it will take us to clear out any room at all at this rate, especially as the enemies start getting stronger and more numerous. It's another place where, having Freenos, a bit of a downside, really. It doesn't do much offensively. Not that that's typically the reason why you take your familiars for direct damage, but on a run such as this, sprinting into Tula, for example, probably would be our best source of damage by a humongous margin. now... Ooh, I think we do go Arachne, though. Because, yes, we do have a lot of money at the shop, but this is not the penultimate room, so we should see at least one more shop on this floor. And we did pass on Arachne on our previous run, I think, maybe even the one before that, and we're getting what seems to be kind of close to finishing her specific subplot line.
Dye the silk and load it.
More will grow in its stead.
Goes the thread.
Yeah, I just can't break these at all.
My finest customer.
Oh, maybe I can with the cast. Or, is that actually Freenos who's doing it? I think it's actually Freenos. Yeah, it might be best to not try to break these. He says as Freenos breaks more of them. Okay, well it does bring out our orbiting projectiles, which is good, because I was going to say otherwise we did not have them out. So I wasn't sure how we were going to defend ourselves if there were any enemies spawning in, but to rely on Freenos hopping to break them when I can't directly control where he goes, I can try to kite him in the general direction. That's probably not what we would like to be spending our time on. We could potentially gift to Arachne and see if, even though there's no icon here, maybe gifting to her helps progress her stuff, but we only have 2 more of the nectars remaining. Yeah, and I want to save at least one for Kronos if we do have the chance to gift to him. I guess we can still use one here.
Oh, you're much too kind to me. I'm only doing what anybody would be doing in my place. But you're treating me like royalty. This nectar, I tried a touch of it before. It's too good for flies. Or spiders.
But what if you weren't a spider?
Too good for flies, perhaps, but it's especially for you. A gift of friendship, whose savor only grows the deeper the friendship is. May it warm you on a cold night such as this.
Alright, no prophecy-related things that time around, but as for the usual conversation...
Say, if the king and queen are back just like you said, doesn't that mean... Why, doesn't it mean you should be back in their palace too?
I love her facial expression, that's great.
I grew up near to these woods, and I mean to remain here for the foreseeable future. Too much I'm not ready to give up.
Oh, you big silly. You could have had it good. They would have given you the most beautiful dresses, I'm sure. Though maybe not more beautiful than these.
Was it last time we encountered Arachne that we finished the run with her dress still on? It's not going to happen this... It was with this one right here. But I don't think that's going to happen this time round. Let's see. We might actually just want the one that gives us the most armor, if I'm being honest. The secondary effect, I don't know. Let's see. Takes less magic to charge up our hex. We don't have a hex at the moment, but it does have the highest armor. This one we've not yet taken. Makes our casts deal more damage. I would like to get a damaging cast, but we don't yet have one. Maybe we'll take it. It's kind of a middle ground armor-wise. It might be the best for us once we do get a damaging cast, and it does progress to prophecy as well.
I hope you like it.
I don't think it's the last... Oh, that was the last one we needed. Okay, well, there we go. But this terrifies me. I have no clue. I think the run is over. Legitimately. What can we do? What can we do? We can dance around in circles and hope that just the automatic attack takes this enemy out. And that's pretty much it. We can drop a base cast, and that'll maybe slow the enemy down. But other than that, legitimately, because of this, we really can't do anything right now. This is horrible. I mean, take your pick. I don't know, we haven't seen as much Hestia, maybe we take her? I don't know which mini-boss is better here. Maybe it is this one, if we just keep on running. We might have lucked out. Okay, I'm gonna drop that. Oops. Oh, okay. It'd be helpful if you just continuously went in this perfect circle. Except not like that. Come on. Oh, a normal attack. What is this? Do that too, except now you, oh, excuse me. You don't have armor anymore, but neither do we. It's okay, it was just a means to get through this encounter. So we immediately lost our armor this time, but I legitimately thought the run was going to end right here. This probably was the best mini-boss we could have fought. So, if not for this matchup, I think we would have been pretty much toast. Okay, we do get a prophecy from Gifting to Hestia here. It would be our last of the nectars, but maybe we just try our best to pick one up later. Let's do it.
Please accept this, Great Aunt Hestia. Your generous support means a lot to me. I know there's so much I can learn from you.
Now I've nothing much to teach. You seem a recluse, much the same as I, besides, although a looker still. But it's been nice to have made your acquaintance.
Thank you? Maybe? Bit backhanded, but alright. And prophecy immediately fulfilled. Okay, very nice.
The monster's down and out? And I mean out for good, as in we can't find any trace of him at all. They're telling me you turned Typhon to ash, dearie. That's proper scary stuff.
Alright, let's see. We really need a good sprint boon. Because we are getting guaranteed 30% extra damage from our aspect. That's the other thing. Is this good enough? It leaves a Cinder Trail, which I feel like is mechanically pretty good for what we're trying to do. The only reservation I have is that it's only rarity, and if it were epic, I think it'd be an obvious choice. And if it were common, then we could potentially upgrade it later with Narcissus, as we've said many times before. Charge Special also launches a fireball, but uses more magic. That's kind of similar to what we have with the Charge Attack here. Once the Chaos Boon evolves, this is quite good. I think I will still go for it. Okay. Hammer could be game-changing. We need all the help we can get. Please give me something that fundamentally changes the way that this works. Not a huge fan of all the armor. Gonna be honest with you. Okay, get rid of you. Ourselves a gold urn to work with. I'm not entirely sure what just happened over there. Just saw something that made a pretty dramatic effect. Maybe we killed something with the tree. Apparently that causes some dramatic visual effects. We did take a little bit of damage, but we should be able to heal that off. And now the Chaos Boon has evolved. That's huge. Because at least now we can use our charge attacks again, and we have a lot of life. A lot. Between that and Phrenos, we have a ton of life here. Okay. Attacks, knock foes away, and have +10 power. I don't know how I feel about that when everything is close range. Specials create +1 projectile. Does that mean we just constantly have an extra projectile rotating around, in which case I think I really like that? Attacks linger for +2 seconds. Launch back toward you after you dash. That's also potentially pretty interesting. I think these two could both be great. I think this one might be a little more straightforward.
Superior.
Once we get a dash boon, that other one would be really good, though. What do we have here? Specials deal more damage. I mean, we haven't spent any monies yet, and we're getting a little close to what is going to be a rival Hecate fight. So, this should be active at that point. I think we need all the help we can get, damage-wise. And then this is magic, this is more life. I think we're... I would say life, except we're gonna need to use magic to do all of our charge attack and special stuff. We don't have any magic restoration yet, so I don't know that 5 magic is gonna make a difference though, whereas 5 life potentially could. Oh, it's Nemesis. Well, you know who's winning? There's no way we can beat Nemesis right now.
May I help you?
Okay. Oh, I actually didn't want to do that yet. Because Nemesis is likely to steal all of our money right now. If you offer us a straightforward trade, that'd probably be better still.
Wretches couldn't even hit me. Wasn't fair. How about you make it up to them? Do it.
Quickly damage Nemesis for 1,000 damage? Yeah, no. I've never seen that before. Never once have I seen that Nemesis encounter. I didn't see what room she stole. I was too busy, not doing any damage, and then picking up the onion. Never seen that before, so it took me a second to realize what was happening. And we immediately started doing a tiny bit of damage, but it took me a second or two before I started doing the charge-up skills. So, alright, that happened. Does that even count as an encounter? I don't know if it does. And then the onion gave us like 1 gold, and I guess we're going here for more. Terrain kill legitimately is our best source of damage. Excuse me? I asked for a terrain kill? Where did my terrain damage go? And yes, we do have 3 orbs now circling around us. Which, psychologically, makes it feel like we should be doing more damage. In practice, I don't know how much that actually is the case. You could argue that it's a 33% or 50% damage improvement. Going from 2 to 3. I'm not sure that it's actually that useful, though. Doesn't necessarily mean that we're hitting people that much more often. Ow, and these don't stagger. I really wish that they did. We'd be so much safer if they did, and that's why I really want the Demeter special. Okay. So we certainly have money. Oh, this is actually pretty tough. A Hex could bail us out so much here, because we have nothing else going for us, seemingly. But 2 boons in 1 room is also something that would be very useful, and if we can get that Demeter special, I'd very much like that. So I think I might still go for this.
Can't they form an orderly queue?
Okay. I think we go Demeter first here. I can't remember what Hestia does when she's mad. I assume it's just one of the fairly generic circles on the ground that does damage, but that might be wrong. It might be a heat-seeking fireball of some sort. But the special, Demeter special, that's the main reason.
My granddaughter.
Or potentially this. Don't love that it's common rarity, but it could be upgradable via Narcissus. This is sort of the secondary cast effect. It does give us some damage on our cast, just not as much as we would get from that in all likelihood. So maybe we still go for this. It's not really what I was hoping for.
Just look at the flickering, sorry mess we've become. But we've all got to pull our weight, don't we?
It does not freeze.
Had to do it.
No, darn it. Oh, okay, so it's bouncing fireballs. That's what Demeter does. They create circles of lava on the ground. Do they ever go away? Because if not, there's going to be a lot of them by the time this encounter is over. Come on, get it. Cast in there. I know we took some damage, but it was necessary. Trust me. Come on. Almost. What? Who's left? Oh, you. Okay, I thought there was going to be another wave. I was like, no.
A boon.
Say it ain't so, Joe.
So you got yourself a slap on the wrist. Might want to pour some nice cool water over that.
Alright, let's see. Special inflicts Scorch? No, I think it's the dash we really want from you. Magic Restoration. I don't love, again, that it's common rarity, and I would kind of like to, if we do take a common rarity boon, make that be the special. Maybe we could have done the Demeter cast. I don't want this to become the Narcissus target. I think we might end up going for you, even if it's
Fired.
not always going to be active. Okay, now this, I think, is the penultimate room. We should already be eligible. Oh no, we probably need a primary skill that is either Demeter or Hestia to be eligible for one of their duos. But as soon as we do get one of those, we might be eligible for the duo. Okay, more fish.
Lord Charon, I
Which is
returned.
not the bonus resource for Freenos.
The hunt begins.
But you could be excused for thinking that. Long one. There we go.
That's a mother.
Alright, so... Hermes, I think we probably do want to take first. And most of his boons are not upgradable via level, I don't think.
Olympus, I accept this message.
So we take this. We can dash more frequently, which long-term could work well with this, but we still need a dash boon. Attack, special, and cast are 15% faster. That's interesting, because I don't know how that works with this aspect. I'm intrigued, though. If that means the specials rotate around us, they orbit 15% faster, that could be quite good, especially with the weapon, or the hammer upgrade that we got. Otherwise, defensively, that's potentially quite useful. As I said, this long-term might have the best potential if we can get a good dash boon. But, I mean, this is still only a 30% damage bonus, which is like a bad boon worth of damage. So it's not like that's a game-changing amount.
Little spring in my step.
Then I think we definitely do this, and it's gonna be you. I think it does give us a nice damage bonus there. I mean, this is a very high rarity boon, and to level it up already means it's giving us a ton of damage. But ooh, that's okay. Charge special. Charge special is nothing to snuff at, though. I think I'll save our other money so we can get aggressive in future shops. This is Rival Hecate, and generally, of the various rival fights, I mean, she is the first, but I think she is the... She arrives the soonest, but I don't think she's that difficult, generally speaking, relative to, say, like a Polyphemus, who, despite being the first enemy on the surface, the first boss on the surface, is still very challenging. It's just largely a question of patience, and I think that's definitely going to be tested now with this build.
Until we meet again.
Fortunately, we have a lot of life, so that helps us play more patiently.
This grove is already regrown since last we clashed. For all the death in Erebus, life flourishes as well.
Death and life, the two are intricately intertwined. These woods shall easily survive our clashes here. What about you?
I don't know. This is our first boss with this aspect, and this could be horrible. Oh, yep, that's, turns out, not a large enough area. Didn't give ourselves enough room to dodge that, which is kind of silly. Oh, that's fake. Where's the real one? It would be helpful, yeah, if we could actually get the real Hecate. With the real Hecate, please stand up. Maybe we'll use this as our primary source of damage. Yeah. Fortunately, that's not too bad. But this is gonna take a long time. Make no mistake. I don't know how we can at least use a resistance there. Through that. Oh, that did use a resistance. Let's walk into that. Thank you. Yeah, and this is where... why I was strongly considering going into the Selene room. At least short term. I think that definitely might have been that. Well, short or long term, to be honest with you. To make the case for it. It means easier to, by the end of the run, have a highly upgraded Hex, which is oftentimes a very big deal. I don't know how we didn't take damage from that. I walked straight into it. Ooh. Most of our damage just comes from when Hecate happens to decide to hang out in our cast, for which I'm very grateful when she does choose to do that. There we go. First phase is done. All right. You have armor as well. Yeah, I guess you do always have armor. If we can get up into close range safely, our damage potential isn't as bad, but that's the thing, is it's not exactly safe to do that. It's not against a boss. Hello to you, and I avoided one attack only to walk into the more important one to avoid. More aggressive here. It's working! Okay, just avoid that though. That's not the real Hecate, this is. Okay, now you run. Oh, the cast isn't getting her there? I thought I put it right on top of her. No, no, also no. Of course, I could just play this super duper safely and exclusively try to damage her with the cast by kiting her through it. But I am occasionally trying to do other stuff. Okay, now can I drop this? Oh, I tried to drop a cast just before she transformed me to see if I could maybe kill some of these witches while we were in our pig form. Ooh, hello to— oh my god! Wow. That was a bad place to get stuck, as it turns out. Doing a fine job dodging until that happened. And I tried to press the dodge button to avoid that last barrage there, except it turns out you can't really do that when you're a pig. Cast back in. And the blue projectiles are heat-seeking. Those are the ones from Hecate, the other ones from the smaller witches are not heat-seeking. Oh, Hecate's back, though. Okay, if we can just heal back most of the damage that we took in this fight from the fountain afterward, then I think that's definitely a success. That could have been a good opportunity to hit her from this side. No. Okay, I tried to hit her with a charge attack. A little greedy. In hindsight, maybe it wasn't worth it. Oh my gosh. And that's not even the real Hecate. Which one is? Not you either. Couldn't really get where I wanted to go to sneak up on you. Okay, got in for a little more damage that time, thankfully. Drop that, and then you teleported to the other side of the arena, so that's not going to do anything. Look at that. Oh, she's doing this. Okay, this is also a bad spot to be for this. It might have gotten the real Hecate a little bit. Excuse me. Nope, don't stand here. Just do that again, which, again, if we were in a better place, could have used that as a good opportunity. Not finding myself in a good spot whenever she uses that skill. There we go, that's a little better. Now just be patient, because we are getting close. No need to rush at this stage. Just doing this again. This time, don't do that. I was about to get a good angle on her. Oh, and I have no magic as well. There we go. Alright. Slowly, but not so surely. Eventually, we took her out. So, about this weapon aspect. Hoping we somehow find a way for it to take off later on, but we are certainly not there yet. Okay.
Greetings.
See, actually not pleased to see you here, because this feels like an opportunity where we might have been able to gift to you, and we currently find ourselves nectarless. And we are not looking for Narcissus at the moment. We could go Moonbeam to
Maybe I should
force
switch.
Selene. Or we could go Concave Stone, try to get just a little more boom stuff going on. We do already have Demeter precedent, so probably okay without taking this, although you could make a case for it just to rarefy any special or cast boon that we get from Demeter that way, rather than relying on you. I think we'll go with this. Okay. And do this.
Refreshing, is it not?
No use.
Okay, I have to speak to you first.
Grandfather, what of the three fates? You
Oh?
truly sent them into exile without knowing where they went.
Okay, so one of the people that we needed to get to know before we free the Fates was seemingly, it's all written very cryptically, but seemingly Kronos.
Well, yes. Another terrible mistake I dearly wish to rectify. I'm attempting to locate them in the depths of possibility, except they could be almost anywhere in there.
There must be something we can do. Are they in any danger? And don't you fear reprisal if we ever find them?
I must admit I do fear somewhat more for me than them, but my attempts to resist the workings of the Fates have never been successful in the past. Should they return, I shall accept whatsoever they may have in store.
I mean, I would say, oh, how brave of him. On the other hand, you did put yourself in this position in the first place.
We'll figure something out.
This was entirely of your doing. Okay, let's see. Next time we would take damage, we instead heal. How much life do we have? We did basically fully heal by the time we...
Not an
Oh,
option.
right. By the time we walk in the next area, we will have full life. Get plus 200% damage on our special. In the short term, at least until we have a special boon. That would have been extremely helpful in that boss fight just now. 6 encounters will not last long enough to take us through to Scylla. If we are to find the optional fight, the optional boss, then maybe this could be active for that, but not exactly liking our chances in that encounter right now. So I think we will take it. It's only 10 gold. So it's a pretty good deal. It's mostly a matter of just, do you have any boons? And so, is it still active? And it's not active for the attack, but it is active for the special.
Down I go.
Right, and is Scylla the boss we need? Yeah, for the Nightmare, okay. Rival Scylla, very different from Rival Hecate. I know I said Rival Hecate you can kind of just win by being patient. That's not the case for Rival Scylla. You play it slowly, patiently with Rival Scylla, you will get worn down very quickly. So we need a significant upgrade, or 3, before we get into that fight. Oh, I did not even pay any attention to these guys, to be honest with you. Oh, it's gonna be kind of hard not to activate those, I'm realizing. And also, I'm realizing that although this is a very high percentage upgrade, I think that our base damage is so small that upgrading the percentage, I mean, we need to hit a bunch before that starts to add up, whereas if we had, say, a Hephaestus who just does a flat amount of damage per hit, that might have been better for a hit-and-run sort of playstyle, which is functionally what this has turned into. Okay, so I think we're going here, and that means we will probably end up upgrading you. Well, it could end up being other things, and we very much need a Nectar. In fact, as I was just saying, would have liked to have seen it before we encountered Kronos. Any enemy that has armor is a problem. Any enemy in general is a problem, if I'm being honest with you.
Water spouts activated.
That they have. Okay, well, don't get hit by that. You Okay. This upgrades the charged attack one, I think is what that is. Yeah. Then you should get auto-compelled.
Calm that shade down, Phrynos.
Thank you, Phrynos. Okay, so, and that gives us an extra air boon. So we can go life, we can go and get Selene. We do not yet have a Hex. We did take Moonbeam, but we need to get a second Selene if we are to actually be able to cash in the Moonbeam value. So, we'd like to do probably this plus one more Selene. Yes, we could figure out this is likely going to give us a boon of some variety, but I think a Hex is very much needed at the moment. I feel like, dare I say, this setup could be good against these sorts of enemies. Ideally, again, with freeze from Demeter, if possible. But that is not yet the case.
Got you.
There's still more of the fishies. There's a lot more of the fishies. What the heck? There are so many enemies in this encounter. We already had fought several waves of those dudes. Then you give me all these guys as well?
I have something for you.
It's Selene. We technically can gift one more time, but I think we're saving that for potential additional Chronos appearances. Although we've yet to be able to gift to him. I tried doing it in the past on the final floor when he makes those appearances, although those have become more brief as of late. He's not even there, and then right as you walk through the door, he goes, hi and bye. So I do wonder if actually the way to do it is with that little bit more extended conversation right after the first floor, in which case our opportunity may have already come and gone.
I call upon the moon and draw you down.
Such a joyous night it was when you and your headmistress and the goddess of the hunt and I all rode together on my steeds. Now we are each once more where we belong, but the Silver Sisters are never truly apart.
Alright. Oh, okay. Double duo potential. Hold on, what do we have here? We have the one that does a big burst of damage after 4 seconds, and when combined with Hestia, does damage even before it lands. So that's good. Everything, I don't think we've had the duo version of this yet. Everything moves 50% slower for 4 seconds. I'm guessing, well, we know it's not Hestia. And pretty much the only other person Aphrodite, we know it's not her. So it has to be Demeter, I think. And that makes sense. A Hex that slows enemies down combines with the goddess who gives boons about freezing and slowing enemies down. But it doesn't do direct damage, is the problem. It could make it a lot easier for us to run up and saw blade the enemies with our bazillion specials circling around us, but I don't know if that's good enough. It might need to be this.
Let us be off.
And that means, yes, we definitely do want to see, more Selene.
Some of Lord Charon's wares.
Charge moves deal extra damage for 6 encounters. There is a chance that will last just long enough for us to make it into the boss fight with it. I mean, I'm not kidding. We need absolutely everything to have any chance at all against rival Scylla. So we need both of these things active, I think. Okay, then mini boss. That also could spell a lot of trouble for us. I think we're still looking for Demeter. I know we have this, which gives us bonus special damage when we don't have any special boons. So, in a way, we might want the base cast from Demeter. But once this expires, which I think is going to happen before we get to Scylla, then we're going to want a special boon to take its place. So the timing actually is going to be really close. This is active for 3 more encounters. We're on location 18, and usually Scylla is just after location 20. She's like 22-ish, I want to say, so it depends on how many rooms we have that don't have enemies in them. If we run into Narcissus and a shop, we might actually be able to keep this active for the Scylla fight, which, with 200% damage, would be very helpful. Add an extra 40 on top of that, but getting ahead of ourselves, what is this? It's the Rat Man. And not Rat Man, it's the little rat. The Rat Men are final floor. But, let's see. I feel like this might actually be one of the better ones for us. just want Hex to hit you. Yes. Huge. Ratman. By Ratman, I mean normal rat. He's not pleased with us. This probably should not come as a surprise. Did we get more gold from taking out more to earn projectile mortar throwing guys? I don't think that we did. Oh, that was not really where I did that. That's okay though, the Hex carries. That's why we wanted it. That's why we wanted one that primarily deals damage. Okay.
Got you again, okay?
Actually didn't take that much damage in the process, so that's really nice.
Olympus, I accept this message.
Okay, so there is a special boon. But I think we're gonna go with the cast instead. I know the rarity is a little awkward, but I think we take that because combine it with this, and collectively across those two boons we get some good damage. We should now be eligible for some duo boons, potentially. And we still have this bonus active. Now, if we can, we'd love to see if we can avoid encounters, so we want rooms that have no enemies in them, to see if we can still keep this active for the skill of fight. Otherwise, we desperately need a special boon. This room, is different.
Wait, what is going on? How can this be?
Yeah, this used to happen with evil Chronos. Now with normal Chronos, normal, air quotes Chronos, converted Chronos, this still happens? Obviously this room is going to have enemies in it.
You know something.
And we proceed by staying in this circle. We can get slightly more gold by killing enemies. There is a limit to how many you can actually, get gold from. I dashed into that. So you can't just, like, farm this indefinitely. But it may make sense for us just to, hello, as I step on all the wrong things. It may make sense for us just to try to press this as quickly as possible, because this is already going horribly wrong. This is already going horribly wrong. Oh my god. This enemy, the one that is shooting those projectiles, is possibly my least favorite enemy from Hades 1.
Which you are fighting for?
We took so much damage. Not exactly what I had in mind. And then we go straight in here, and this is a room that has enemies in it, which means we will not have the bonus special damage from that really powerful shop item going into the skill of fight. So we are very much looking for a special boon here. We don't know what kind of room this is. That may not even be possible. But yeah, I think we basically had to have everything go perfectly to have any chance against Rival Skilla. And that already has not been the case. So I already am highly skeptical if we have any chance. I think we do need a bit of a miracle at this point. Oh, we do have our Hex. Hold on. I mean, that's the closest thing we have to a miracle at the moment. That was not really necessary against you. Ooh, those other projectiles. Okay. Oh, no. It's useless. Just about. Okay, take these. We do get a second
Limestone.
Selene room. Now this is huge. Obviously early Hermes is potentially very good, but this allows us to cash in the Moonbeam and potentially get up to the point where we can benefit from the duo. So maybe this is the miracle we were looking for. At this rate though, we do need healing before we go into the boss fight, and that is something we may not have access to. Stop blocking this. I will blow this up on you. Not that I really have a choice in that.
Cooked fish.
Cooked fish. Jeez. That's brutal. I'm gonna break this one too. One of those guys down. Might get a bit of a double whammy here. I kind of don't want to be in there in case that causes you to put up your shell. There we go. Okay. So this is huge.
Manifest your desire.
So here's the duo. Inflict Scorch on all foes until the blast happens. Just see what these are. Also fires your charge cast in the area immediately after the blast, or we get armor until the blast lands. Little guys. Enemies move more slowly in the area. Enemies take plus 30% damage. Well, we have 9. Oh, and this. Smaller blasts. Okay. So let's figure out which side we'd rather approach from. I definitely prefer this to this. So I prefer the northern route. Yeah, I think in either case I prefer the northern route. So here. Larger damage, larger area. Starts charge. That's definitely helpful. Godsent. Give us an extra round of Godsent. We're going to need it in this encounter. Then we could get up there, plus get this if we wanted to. That is going to increase the cost to charge up the Hex. Or we could go here. Mini blasts. Larger area. I think we're going to still go 1, 2, 3, and 1. Okay, so that is very big that we managed to get that. This is going to be the penultimate room. I think we have to go to the shop, even though Hermes could be good. It would be a free Hermes, which is nice. We have plenty of money, so that's not really a barrier. I don't think we really stand a great chance against this, and we also... Magic is not our highest priority, and we can't really afford to risk taking extra damage, which would be very likely to happen. So let's go here. Okay.
Might protect you, my lord.
We might just buy everything. I know I was just saying magic is not a huge deal, but given the choice... What is this one? Charge moves deal more damage. We still have specials deal 40% more damage, so we'd love to see a special from Hera here, I think.
In the name of Hades.
Magic Restoration? Ooh. This is currently true, but I think this is still even better, and we would like for it to land on probably you, to be honest. This would still be helpful, but it's already slightly higher rarity, and it is... Or 1 tier higher rarity and 1 higher level. So this one is a larger incremental improvement. But it was the attack. Okay, I mean... It's good. It's good. I think the special... Well, if we had a special boon, that probably would have been the best target for it, though. Okay, so now we're going to need this. No question. We do get extra damage on the charged attacks, and we did not take the magic regeneration boon, which you honestly could have made a case for, just to get the most value possible out of this, and because this man... I have yet to see something to convince me this is worthwhile. I don't think I'm about to be convinced.
Felt that.
Maybe I'll be proven wrong. It'd be great if I were, but something tells me this fight is not going to go very well. So, how many Death Defiances do you think we're about to use in this fight? And is the answer less than 3? Because if so, I think you are very optimistic. Any last words?
May moonlight guide us.
He's like, really? You thought it was a good idea to run this aspect? No, I'm not sure that it was, Charon. I think you're right. Okay. Well, here we go. It's rival Scylla and the Sirens.
Are you familiar familiar with the Enchantress Circe?
Oh?
She mentioned that she knew you in her youth, though I'm uncertain if you were on friendly terms.
I'm curious where this conversation goes.
The Enchantress Circe. No, that doesn't ring a bell. The only Circe I knew was the talentless, pathetic little runt of the litter of Helios himself. What has this other Circe got to say?
Oh, some smack talk, okay. So, strategy-wise, I think the goal is going to be get as much out of the Hex as possible. That would be great against the drummer, especially because she is stationary. We do start with a 40% charge, but that, even if we immediately try to use a charge move, I still don't think it's going to be ready to go immediately, or almost immediately. It's going to take a little bit of time, and that means we are going to have to deal with the drummer for at least a little while, and that is a scary prospect.
She gave me the impression you were always rather boisterous, even back then. Perhaps already practicing the kinds of songs you think shall bring you fame.
But if we can beat Scylla, she is the one that gives us the bonus nightmare, so that would be great.
It's no secret I always knew what I wanted to be, lady. Always knew what I was meant to be. Circe and so many others. All they ever did was get in my way. Same as you.
Okay.
Hit it, gals.
That's the charge special. Whoa. Charge attack. Use this on you. And then get out of there, I think. Clearly, the drummer is still up. Yep. Even when we're stunned, we're still hitting her with this, though. Fortunately. Okay, drummer is now down. That's very big. And I think the Hex actually took out many of these guys. So that's huge. We'd like to save the Hex for the second round of the fight then. Second phase. This next Hex here. Which means, how do we do damage without Vids? That's my question. Oh dear. And we don't have magic restoration, so I can't... Oh, well, yeah. We don't have any magic for the rest of the fight in that case. Get the other side. We occasionally have some projectiles hit you. Kind of dance around that to a certain extent. Might want to get rid of you first, though. Okay, there we go. Just trying to pull her from close range, but she's surprisingly susceptible to it, I'm realizing. Ooh. As I said, technically it is possible to do this. Okay, we're gonna phase. Yes. Still gonna get the drummer first with this Hex. If you would let me do the Hex, that is. Again, I am technically still doing some damage to her. Now, this. Oh, hello. Drummer's still up. Go away, drummer. Go away, drummer. Somebody's down. I'm not sure who. Charybdis is down. Okay. Scylla may actually be down as well. It might just be you. What are we doing for the final phase? We are just trying to fend off all of the little fishies with our aura, pretty much. I think is the answer. So we're gonna have to get aggressive. Because we don't have any other way to do damage to you, except we can do a normal Hex. It doesn't need to be the charge Hex, that's fine. Okay, just run. I kind of forgot about the normal Hex. I just assumed that it was going to be everything or nothing there, but that went so much better than I thought it was going to go, because the Hex absolutely carried.
Fear of the realm spreads.
Okay, so we get the Nightmare. That's huge. Didn't exactly think that was going to happen. No Death Defiance is used. Definitely did not think that was going to happen. And now I think we carry on, and we once again took a lot of damage. We won't quite be able to heal all of that off, I don't think, but we should be able to get kind of close.
the edge of Oceanus.
Let's see. Still don't have any common boons, so we don't really want a Narcissus. And that means this is probably not going to be a Narcissus run in that case. Unless we just use it for increasing the healing effect here, but I don't think we want to do that. So that means... what do we go for on this floor? It could be this, actually, because we've yet to see a special boon, and as I said, I really think a Demeter special could go a long way here. So we kind of get the similar effects where we can rarefy right on site rather than waiting to retroactively upgrade with Narcissus, while at the same time also making it more likely for Demeter to show up. So that's definitely a strong consideration. We could consider doing something to make the rival Cerberus fight more likely to succeed. I don't know how I feel about that relative to, and then there's also Concave Stone, potentially giving us a little more value with an extra boon of some variety, but we don't have control over when it activates, and sometimes it's not the best of times. So, I think we do have Demeter precedent, but I might still go for this. It's, you know, if Demeter is going to show up anyway and give us the boon we wanted anyway, then obviously it's a little bit of a waste of a keepsake, so that's the reason not to take it. So it's a very sort of safe approach. I'm going to go for it. And this gets us, yeah, not quite maxed out, but by the time we walk into two more doorways with no enemies, we'll be almost at max life. And then is a good time for chaos. It is a good time for chaos. It's potentially a good time for both of these things. So we could use a run-saving chaos. One that the downside is not too bad. If we do have, I think, all of our rerolls still. So I think we can take our chances here. Definitely don't need that. Okay. So let's go for it. Already made it farther than I expected us to get. So that means the next goal is if we can make it to the normal Chronos fight, then that means... I don't know why it said Barley Sheaf as soon as we walked in here. It's not like we're going to encounter Demeter right now. It's kind of weird. It's been a while since we last took a keepsake for the specific boon-giving gods or goddesses, but we are looking for... I think we're skipping Chaos. This is too good to turn down. You could say the Hammer is has about the same potential as Chaos, where there's no downside to Hammer. The upside is potentially very good, maybe not quite the same ceiling as you can get from Chaos, and there's a chance that you brick and get a Hammer upgrade that just doesn't do you much of any good. But both attack and special, and even cast would be helpful. Even a dash-related boon of some variety would be helpful. And then it has Demeter, which gives us the chance to get the special boon and rarefy that special boon. We really want that to happen on this floor, so we can then switch over to a more boss-centric keepsake if we make it to the final floor. So, I know we paid a somewhat hefty sum for this, but I think we still have to do this. If this room were to show up after Chaos, then that would have been perfect. But unfortunately, that's not the way it went. Where is the bow? The bow is here. So I'm not really sure. Does that deal damage? Oh no, he ran into the brambles. That's what was dealing damage to. Wait. Oh no, okay. I was pressing the special button and it seemed like I was creating an extra projectile and I was very confused. I was like, what? Have I been able to press the special button to do extra damage all along and I didn't even realize it? No, that is not the case. Charge special, yes. This should give you a pretty good sense. Oh, I mean, I can do that. Without the cast, it's a pretty good sense of how little damage we have. But this is where you see the freeze effect, which makes it so much easier for us to safely move in. I'm not going to use the hex here, I think. Unfortunately, the other guy was not paying attention, and I was not paying attention either. I should have realized that that other guy was going to start attacking again. Okay. So, I think it's Demeter first, and then it's the hammer.
Thrust my foes.
So, the big wolf dudes can summon more enemies. They can summon little wolf dudes. You know, you're all clustered around here. I am going to do this. There we go.
We did it, Phrenos.
No real reason to gift there, I don't think. Okay. So this is exactly what we were preparing for. This shows up and we rarefy.
Your choice.
Oh, it only goes up to... I did not realize it only goes up by 1, to be honest with you. I thought the higher level here meant that it always turns into that level rarity. Ooh, okay. I mean, we're taking it at this point.
Life or death.
But had I realized that, I might have even gotten greedy and tried to wait. Okay, now hammer. Now we have other ways to freeze. Should be, but as long as the enemy is not on freeze cooldown, anything that comes close to us is going to get frozen. Hopefully, that's what we needed. Still don't exactly think it's going to be crazy damage. Still probably going to be a pretty patient type of playstyle. Maybe it's easier to pull that playstyle off. Now this... Special extra damage to armor. Attack fires 20% further and does more damage. Attack lingers for 2 seconds and launches back toward us after we dash. This is what we were eyeing before. This could be good too. Our attack has very limited range, so getting more range on it is intriguing, although 20%, I'm skeptical that that's going to make any sort of difference. So I think maybe we go for this.
Fine work as always.
And then did we even click on the bow? I don't think we did, but let's just check if this is Echo first, because I don't want to pick up a small upgrade only for that to be the thing that gets duplicated. No, it's not Echo. It could be a mini-boss. I think we are very likely to avoid that encounter instead. It would be high rarity Hestia. We could get a dash boon, which is the big thing that we're still missing now, and I do think Hestia could be very good for that if we can get a high rarity version of it. We saw, what, the rare of it before, and ideally it'd be an epic, and it's more likely for that to happen with this. If it's the vampire, I think we stand no chance outside of the hex, rather. If it's the Gorgons, I think we're okay. Maybe we can give it a shot. Which one is it? It's the Gorgons. Okay, I think that's good. I think that's good. If I had aimed, if I had actually hit with that cast, I think that would have made a very big difference. Basically just go around trying to hit them all with that. Assuming that it's going to more or less align with our timing here. Oh, I was going to say, she does have an extra attack as well. It's not just the whatever you want to call those, heat-seeking beams. Be careful about that. And right as I was thinking that, is when she broke down. That too. But her armor is down. She is down. Took a little bit of damage, but still not horrible in the grand scheme of things, given how that was a mini-boss fight. And hopefully,
Well done.
this makes it worthwhile.
Olympus, I accept this message.
Could be duo, could be dash. Those are the two things we really want. This is also really good, though. There is the dash. It's not the ideal rarity. This gives us some chain damaging potential against at least groups of enemies, and we can use all that sort of stuff that we can get. And this would also be useful to an extent, and this, as I said, just rarity is the only reservation I have. Okay, definitely looking for Echo, though, and we could potentially duplicate that, which could still be quite useful. Okay, let's see. anything in here? There's a chance this might even resolve the conflict between Echo and Narcissus. We did an incantation, actually, to resolve it, but then we didn't see Narcissus on the following run. There's a chance he's going to show up here, in which case maybe this will confirm all that stuff, but no, it's just Echo.
Echo, it's you. It's you. It's you.
Let's see. We've not taken this before. Oh, yeah, because it gives us max life and max magic, but that is guaranteed to go down every room, so that's not a coincidence. Extra copy of something we buy from Charon, which we have the money to do the initial purchase. It does rely on us getting something good in the shop for that to be really worthwhile. Otherwise, boons from the previous night. I don't remember which types of boons we were using most last time. We probably had some good ones. Maybe we go for this.
I'm
Let's see.
grateful.
Oh, I remember that. I do remember that. And we have enough boons that that's pretty effective. How much dodge chance is that giving us? Almost 14. We can use all the help we can get. Okay, then more Selene, Hera, magic. I think we're going that route. Okay, now we know Echo is... Duplication effects from Echo are no longer a possibility. Shouldn't really be planning around that. Oh, when I looked at that out of the corner of the screen and out of the corner of my eye, it looked just completely rainbow, and I was like, what the heck is that? Excuse me. Not going to use the hex here, because the first hex is the strong hex. And I don't think that comes back per encounter in this area. Checking the bow would be useful. It would be nice if you guys weren't guarding the bow. Positioning just right, so we are actually hitting with all of our circling specials is pretty important. It's a little hard to see with all the visual effects going on when we have the cast there and what's not. Oh, and then we're starting to see, yes, the attack projectiles will occasionally bounce back to us like that with the hammer upgrade that we took most recently. You are on cooldown for the freeze. Okay. That gives a little bit extra life. That's nice. Use all the help we can get there, too. Now we can finally see. I imagine we've already gotten all the small stuff, so now we just want to front load the good stuff. And I think that means Selene first, then probably Hera, and Magic last. Hello?
Smackers.
Oh, there's a lot of them. Not everyone there can be frozen. Careful. Not so fast, buddy. Now. There we go. Okay.
Got them, Phrenos.
So now, we've got some really big upgrades, but we can get a few more. We can do the 3 mini blasts, which I do generally like. Then we can get closer to that. What do we get along the way? Larger AoE, more damage after using it. I think that's fine, just out of curiosity. That's also more damage. That's having it charged up at the beginning, at least against bosses, that's really helpful. So you can immediately blast them. I think we're going to go here and there. Okay, so now let's do Hera. Waiting to see if we get the nasty mini-boss showing up before I break out the Hex in this area. Because that could happen, and if it does, then that is definitely the most dangerous of these encounters, I would think. Oops.
Not a chance.
Not really sure what hit us, to be honest. It's, as I said, it's a little visually cluttered. A little hard to see. So getting freeze duration from Demeter definitely could be very useful at this stage.
In the name of Hades.
And then from you, we could get magic restoration. That would be useful too. We do not have any common boons still. So this is good. You could do the math. I don't know how many specific gods and goddesses we have right now, but this is probably pretty close to being the same thing. Long term, this could potentially get better, and this potentially could go away if we get a common boon. We have to be kind of careful about that. If we get the infusion from Hera, which we are eligible for, then we can prevent that from happening, though. Maybe we feel okay about it. Okay, now here... You... Whoa! Where did that come from? Yeah, freeze duration from Demeter, and dash that does a lot of damage. Oh, that was bad. That was very bad. Dash that does a lot of damage. We were eyeing the Hestia boon. It doesn't necessarily need to come from Hestia, but we do have Hestia precedent, so it feels like that's a potential obvious way to make it work. Is this the penultimate room? It might actually be. We did not take the upgrade that makes it so, Hera, or rather the Echo upgrade that would give us an extra copy of the first thing we buy at the shop. So that is not a factor, but I still think we could use some healing, because this will be rival Cerberus, so this is no joke. And obviously a boon, as long as it's not common rarity, we'd like to pick that up too. So let's go for this. It is the penultimate room. It's another one of these guys.
Down, Phrynos. Good job.
Then, okay, we do get healing, plus a boon, plus a palm. And we can just barely afford all those things. Also, I like that that's the second time now Phrynos has hopped into Charon, which would normally deal damage to him. And Charon did not take kindly to that. Okay, I think we still want this now. This does get much better with an upgrade. This I'm a little wary of upgrading because there's a chance we might lose it later on. This could be kind of helpful against boss fights, but it's just such a small number, it's hard to get excited about, so let's do that. Let me do this. Could be duo. That is possible, and here it is. Deal more damage with our weapon the more life we have. 10% bonus damage per 100 life. Does that mean max life or current life, technically speaking? Max life. Okay, yeah. Because we do not yet have 200, but we have 200 max life plus a little bit more, but we're just below that in terms of after having taken some damage. So it's basically 20% extra damage. I think this is Aphrodite plus Demeter? I don't remember taking this, but apparently we have done it before. This actually is pretty darn useful. So is this. I mean, this actually gives us some flat damage, which we so sorely lack right now. And this gives us an actual way to spam our charge abilities, since we're going to be nearby enemies almost all the time. So this would be a great time if we had Echo, her keepsake, to take multiple of these, but unfortunately that's not the way it works. I actually think the duo might be the worst for us right now, of these options. 20% damage is nice. Potentially could become 30 by the time the run is over. It's, you know, on par with this here, which, as I said, it's good. But it could be better still, I think.
Beautiful.
Then we take this. Okay. I guess now we are on full life. That's the 4th time Freenos has jumped into Charon. Now it's personal. Okay, so for this fight, we do have some close-up damage. It's still not great. It's mostly going to come down to the Hex, I imagine, and although, yes, the 2 God-sent versions of the Hex are far and away the most powerful, don't discount, even once we have blown through those 2 God-sent versions, the damage is still quite good. And then, now that we have some good dodge chance, hopefully that can help us avoid taking a ton of damage. But, once again, as we were saying for the Skilla fight, we could find ourselves losing a whole bunch of Death Defiances here, so here goes nothing. It's rival Cerberus. Want to hit him with a cast at the very beginning. Then probably do this, charge it up, this, charge up the attack, this, get the first God-sent version. He is not pleased with us. This does not come as a surprise. We've blown through most of our resistances, but that's okay. There really is no way to avoid this seemingly, except we may have. Did he just attack behind himself? What the heck? Okay, this is also going to be Godsend, and this may cause him to phase. Yeah, very unfortunate time. Okay, well, kinda did see that one coming. As soon as I pressed the button, I was like, yeah, I shouldn't go. And yet, somehow, it still did not get rid of these guys. Oh, you are not over there. You are actually over here. Blew through your extra shields, which is nice, and that was... I was in the perfect position until I wasn't in the perfect position to avoid that. Last time we fought Cerberus, he just kept on running away right as I was using the Hex, which was really frustrating. Now I want to be mindful of being in a good place in case he breaks out the flamethrower ability soon. Yeah, he kept on doing that dodge right as the Hex was about to land. I was like, what are the chances of that? Literally aiming that away before he does this. That kind of thing. It's very frustrating. Okay, what am I supposed to do here? Owie. Big dash. Oh, please walk into that though. Nope, nope, nope. I see what you're doing. Yep, I saw it coming this time. Now I gotta go. I did try to leave you present though. Speaking of which, you're gonna do that. Now do this. Okay, so I deliberately waited for him to do the dash-like attack. Okay, and it did hit him, fortunately. Okay, now you're doing this. It's a brief little flamethrower, and then you have a follow-up, of course. Which I did not realize. Okay, this would be a bad time to do the flamethrower, because I'm very far away from you. Please get hit by that. There we go. Not so bad. Once again, in large part because of the Hex.
Playtime for the multi-headed hound of hell is ended for the eve.
What is that sizzling sound? Are we standing in the lava? No, okay, good. Oh! Not sure why that's getting updated. Oh, is it maybe enemies that only show up in this encounter? Enemies that are usually just from Hades 1, because there's a bit of a throwback to Hades 1. This arena, at least. Well, we did end up taking a fair bit of damage by the time that fight was through, although, as I said, having used no Death Defiances in either this or the Super Skilla fight, I do not believe it. I am a little bit dumbfounded. So we can once again heal a bit. The Magic Restoration, for what it's worth, came in absolute clutch. in that fight. It may not have been obvious, but I was feeling it immediately. Being able to almost always have that restoring magic, so I could basically just spam the charge attacks, and that's why I could spam the Hex so much, because I was blowing through magic so quickly, but getting the magic back. So I think that was definitely the right move. Now for this floor, are we allowed to access this before we do the fountain? No. Okay. I'm just wondering... So no common rarity boons. We want to keep it that way for this. That means no Narcissus. Be a bad time for Narcissus, except for potentially increasing our healing here, because that would be kind of nice. Get back to full health. Otherwise, we're probably looking at something... Well, if it's not Narcissus, then we can do this first. Then that means... Probably looking at one of these two for what is at least normal Chronos this time. We're on to normal Chronos, thankfully. We can get more gold in exchange for 11 life. Cast damage. We move faster. All little things that give us a small bonus. I mean, we don't have that much money right now, so I want to be a little bit mindful of that. Anything that we sell would make it so that we can no longer... Or we get a little less value out of this, so I'm hesitant to do so. Even if we were saying that we like having Demeter on both these categories, but rarity leaves a little bit to be desired. You could maybe justify selling this, but I think we'd rather just stay put and maybe pass on this stuff, because as I said, we're a little low on money and a little low on life, so I don't want to be spending more of that either. And then we can hopefully... We have the option to pick something up at a shop if we see a mini one during this floor, and then obviously a super shop. Unfortunately, we did blow a fair bit of money on one of those guaranteed Chaos Gates that we ultimately did not end up going through, but I think in hindsight that was still the right move. Obviously, we don't know what Chaos would have given us, but that floor went about as smoothly as we could have asked for. Not that it was squeaky clean, but still couldn't have really expected it to have been much better than that, given how things have been going. And things now may get tricky. Oh, that was a lucky dodge. These guys are now going to be much stronger. You still have freeze cooldown, which I do not like to see. I'm going to save this... Hello. This Hex. So I'm assuming this is not the only wave. My assumption is correct. This may also not be the only wave. There we go. Okay. First room down. And nothing special here and no choices. We're just forging ahead.
More gold race.
Okay, these guys, as you've heard me say many times before, they are potentially very annoying. But if we can prevent them from running away, that definitely does help. But something tells me there's going to be a lot more where those guys came from. Including a Rat Man. Okay, yep, do this here. Take that, Rat Man. Who's left? Ooh, you almost got that. There we go. Okay. So with all the freeze, we can actually play this quite defensively. Potentially. Potentially, which does help, because this is now a few rooms where we haven't taken any damage and given ourselves some time to heal off. And that means we can actually consider going in here, whereas otherwise we probably would not. I think we give it a shot. If it's the coin dude, then that is potentially going to be a pain in the butt, but we're just going to have to live with that. And we're still looking for Hestia Dash would be the big thing, or some kind of duo or legendary from her. So that's the hope, and I think Hex is key, of course, if it is going to be a nasty enemy. It's Ratman, which I think is probably a little bit better. Do that immediately, which I will do. I need you to stay in here, and I would have very much preferred not to have stepped in that freezy area, which I honestly did not even know was a thing. I had no idea that was a thing. Now Ratman is frozen again. And he's down. I think we took one hit from the Ratman, but in the grand scheme of things, that is fine. Okay. No other stuff in here, so let's claim this.
In the name of Hades.
And finally, we can get this, which is really good. That's what we've been waiting for in many ways. Or, I mean, the infusion with 5 fire boons gives our attack and special 10 more power, which again, given how low the base power is, getting just a flat amount is in some ways more meaningful than getting a percentage boost. But I think we're still looking at this because we did not have a dash boon yet. And that dash boon is getting an extra 30% damage. So I'm hoping that could be helpful, and it does play into the whole mobile playstyle, hit and run type of thing that we're looking for. We're definitely going here. We cannot gift anything to them on this occasion, as we do not have any nectar left, I don't think. We have one, actually. I think we still need to save that in case we have an opportunity to gift to Kronos at the very end.
Did your mother and I hear correctly that you and your brother clashed in the midst of Elysium for all to see?
Maybe.
Hello, Father. It's not what you think. It was what you could call an exhibition match. A friendly challenge, nothing more. Though Zagreus did not go easy on me.
It was Zagreus' idea.
A shrewd decision on the boy's part, then. Or more likely, it was yours. For all the troubles in the underworld, this type of exhibition match, as you refer to it, may be exactly what the Shades require.
Oh, he is surprisingly receptive to this idea.
A morale boost. I suppose they do enjoy this type of violent entertainment over there. Well, as long as Malinui and Zagreus are open to it.
As long as our two kids are fine with beating each other up to a pulp, as long as it's all in good fun and it makes everyone happy, then why not? No, that's not really how I expected them to respond.
You trained with the Witch of the Crossroads. He trained with the greatest warrior that ever fought in mortal wars. Who is superior shall perhaps be subject to debate.
Oh. Okay, well, let's see. This time round, we can become dark when we take damage. And this could be useful because we're gonna take damage. We're gonna have to be up close to Kronos. We're gonna get hit in the process. And then, reminder, this is not just a 70% damage bonus for the next hit that you do. It is for any and everything that you do for 5 seconds. So we're spamming a bunch of the orbs circling around us. So that could be quite good. And then technically it may be possible to even sneak in a Hex when this is active if we're really quick about it. And if we get 70% extra damage on the Hex, then that's really good. I mean, technically, even if we're only getting the 70% extra damage on the Scorch effect that's applying before the meteor itself drops, that alone is still really powerful. So I'm very tempted by that. Otherwise, fewer reinforcements or the soul urns when we use magic. This actually could be really good as well, because with the magic restoration boon that we have, as I was saying against Cerberus, it meant I could basically stand right next to Cerberus, continuously hit him with the orbiting specials, and continuously charge up either the attack or the special and restore that magic really quickly. And that means we're going to create a bunch of soul urns right on top of Kronos, and do that repeatedly, break them right on top of Kronos repeatedly. So that's not bad either. Basically, this is for more of the standard types of attacks, whereas this is, yes, the standard types of attacks, but probably much more impactful for the Hex. We'll go for this. I think it's a little bit safer, given how against Kronos we're probably gonna not be quite as consistently in his face.
Somehow the Princess of the Underworld has worked her magic on the Hound of Hell.
Calm down since the fields have you.
Allows us to pet him.
Exercise.
True. Okay. Nothing else in this room, and this is just a normal room here, but it's a room with no enemies in it, the one that we were just in. Which does help. Oh, no.
I get your gold. Want a bit of extra gold? Then earn it. Now heads up, they're coming.
Alright, we're in a little bit better shape now than we were before, I guess. Certainly if we do this. I'm just throwing somewhere for the sake of getting it down and applying the Scorch effect, really. She has 0, which does seem like that's pretty good. There are a lot of enemies in this encounter, which is not great. That does give her more opportunities to catch up to us after our early lead. She is trying to kill Seal from us, which is annoying. Remember, basic attacks don't do anything. It's just a normal version of the Hex. Okay, she can't catch us anymore. It's 1! Fortunate dodge there. Okay, we took a little bit of damage, I think. Most importantly, we won.
Can't believe I lost.
And there is... Oh. No! That was an optional room. I didn't see what it was. But it might have been very useful for us. That stinks. I mean, I hope we'll get an optional room after this that we can still go into. There is an achievement for winning 1,000 gold against those various Nemesis encounters. We only just got the achievement for it, in part because I don't think I knew how that worked at first. Or at least that it was possible to actually lose money if you lost to Nemesis. And I'm actually not sure if it tracks how much net gold you have earned in Nemesis encounters. Like if you win one encounter, gain 100 gold, and then lose an encounter, lose 100 gold. Does that put you on 0, or does it only remember the positive ones you're still at 100? Because if you lose a bunch of them, then that could really set you back. But either way, let us proceed. I don't know what that room was, but I imagine we would have at least been interested in considering it. They definitely did not have these sorts of traps before in this floor. Traps that freeze us. The second smaller freeze circle was coming from these guys. Okay, I'm definitely gonna throw a Hex out here. Try to get rid of some of these guys, because this is chaos. Or maybe not. Maybe we're past the worst of it. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is the only way. Might as well do this. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I'm hoping we still see an optional room after this. This would be free if we had the fear. We don't quite have it, though. We're only 2 away. Okay, there is still a chance we might get an optional room after this. I am feeling better about where we stand with the build now. Took us a long time to get to that point. Spawning in. This is actually a very small region. This might not be the only wave, but there's a second wave. It's 1 enemy, so there might be more after this. Yeah, there is. There are more enemigos. I am curious just how much damage the dash is doing. It's a little hard to tell. There's a lot of other stuff going on. Ah, that stinks. Yeah, so Nemesis did basically permanently prevent us from going to one of the optional areas. Basically, I think the way that it works in many cases is that there are basically a maximum number of optional rooms that you can go into on this floor. And sometimes, if you skip one of them, then that sort of cuts you off from accessing the other ones. And so by Nemesis preventing us from using one of those, that I think did just that. Because we only went into 1 optional room, and usually you can get 3, maybe even 4. I think usually 3 if you go into all of them. So, alright. Could have potentially powered up a little bit more by doing that, but it means we're still going in with 554 gold and a decent set of boons here. This is normal Chronos. That's maybe the most important thing. We have more damage to work with now, and we still have this guy, who's our main source of defense, and a freeze as well. We are not at full life, but we do have all of our death defiances, which I really did not think was going to happen at this stage. Ooh. Okay.
Lord Charon?
No Chronos to potentially gift to here. The money is a little tough. Well, actually, no, it's not. Because, well, it looks like it almost certainly is Big Hestia boon plus healing because we can't quite afford this plus random boon. We could do double palm mystery boon, that's 425. Yeah, we would have enough if we did everything but these two at the end, but I think we want this. Well, what would we be looking for? Duo or legendary? And I don't even know that we have much experience with those from Hestia. We've definitely taken Hestia a lot less, more often as of late, but I have less experience with her. We definitely want a boon to just maximize the value from this. Maybe sneaking in the palms is useful too. So you know what? Sure, we'll do this.
Here's the gold.
And then still, oh, I was like, oh, these are all high rarity boons. No, this is upgrading. This is not new boons. Okay, so we also have all of our rerolls left. Extra damage here. Don't think we want that against Kronos. It's probably not the best options against Kronos. As I said, we're probably not going to be right next to Kronos as often as we were right next to Cerberus, so getting a little more magic restored while we are in that position, you could make the case for that, but we could reroll here. I was thinking one of those would probably be best. I mean, Arctic Gale does give us more damage on the cast. I don't know whether that's more effective to upgrade, or if it's this. I mean, this is higher rarity, so sure, I guess we'll go with that. And this, more from you.
She's suggesting an exchange.
Oh, that's the magic restoration. Whenever we hit. Honestly, it's pretty similar. Whenever we hit with our attacker special, we are close to enemies. So I think we want to on net gain a boon to get more value from you, and that probably means with 6 fire boons now, this is pretty solid. Yeah, I think we take you. And we can still afford the healing, which it's, yes, pretty overkill, but it at least makes sure that we get in with full life. And now means that we're hitting a bit harder with our attack and our special. The dash helps us alongside the cast with sort of hit and run style. And the Hex is still likely to be one of the biggest factors, especially if we can line that up well with the darkness, which I'm going to have to make a bit of a mental note of. I forgot to change the keepsake. Whoops. Oh well, hopefully that doesn't come back to bite us.
See you later.
Only one way to find out.
Mighty Supai, now make Ignium burn brighter still.
Prophecy fulfilled from getting here with the hidden aspect.
Made much easier for all the enemies Olympus has accrued. From the satyrs, to the harpies, to the cyclops, Polyphemus, and much more. It is not I alone who seeks the downfall of the gods.
Now, Kronos, as I was saying, is also one of the people we need to get to know better, I think, in order to progress the prophecy with the Fates. So, was that the peaceful conversation that we had with him earlier, or is it this conversation right here? Maybe. And since this is normal Kronos, although this is the final fight on the run, I feel a little bit better about this than I do against the rival Cerberus and certainly Scylla.
So you gathered up the dregs, lusting for power or revenge. Such company you keep. I know that Polyphemus well enough by now. His loyalty can almost certainly be bought.
Ooh.
Oh, that it can. Loyalty is either earned or bought, and it makes very little difference either way. Polyphemus has his limitations, to be sure, but he is not a lost cause.
Okay, I'm not sure why we're focusing so much on Polyphemus specifically, but alright, maybe there's a Polyphemus update to be had. Oh, that is not the ability that I thought you were charging up. Please. Oh, I did not see you do that. When do we want to do... we should probably do one of the Godsend Hexes, even in this stage of the fight. And it does also give us extra damage for the rest of the encounter, so I'm just going to wait for a time when I'm pretty confident he's going to be standing still. Might also wait for him to drop to a quarter health, because he's going to get a shield when he does that. That stuff. Oh, that is the shield. Is that quarter health? Just about. That might have actually been the threshold in question. So if I can get the chance to use the charge attack like this, the charge special, the damage actually does start to get pretty significant. You see that number there, starting to get up near 1,000. Well, that was technically resistance. At this rate, I might wait for him to drop that. So this would have potentially been a good opportunity. It. Half health. Has phased. I knew that was coming, and yet I still was standing at that phase. Now we can double and triple if he wants. 2. Just 2. Is that another quarter health threshold? Doing damage way faster than I expected us to. To the point where I've been waiting for opportunities to hex him, and they just haven't presented themselves. And this would be one of them right here. Like, so yeah, there he goes into his shield. That's a horrible place to stand. Somehow we did not take damage between resistances and dodges. Okay, I just want to have, yeah, the hex pack ready to go as soon as the next phase starts, because it's a good time to activate the hex, the second God-sent version of it. What are you doing? Oh, you're doing this. Those count as enemies that give us magic when we stand close to them. Oh, I got trapped in the corner ever so slightly, and that's what caused me to take damage. That's unfortunate. That should be able to get close. Oh, especially if I do this. Finishing it off here. For this phase, at least. 3, 2, well, slow seconds. Can't do that. Our way. There you see just how much damage that does when we were supposed to be more or less exclusively trying to dodge him, and yet we've almost taken out a half of his HP. But not read that properly. That's just a normal hex this time. If you would be so kind as to walk back over here, darn it. Hit us with this. That's also this, and I, once again, that's his easiest move to dodge. You wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't think it. Oh my god. And that's also very important. You wouldn't think it. Based on how often it's been hitting me, but... Excuse me. Just trying to get rid of these guys, because they keep healing you. There we go. Oh, this guy's still alive. Oh. Okay, you changed your mind. Kind of a nasty combination of skills right there. Somehow didn't get punished, though. 2, 3. That might be enough. The cast alone. Yep. There we go. I mean, once we got here, it was fine.
This matters not. My plans are already well underway.
Ended up taking damage from a bunch of things that were avoidable, so the execution wasn't great, but the damage was surprisingly good, and maybe it was just that it took us a long time to get the dash we were looking for, and that was an important factor. But even using the charged attacks, the charge specials, those really added up, and obviously the hex was really big as well, as it so often is.
May time flow freely forth. You give this to me now.
That's a long story. Alright. Mission accomplished. And honestly, if ever there were a run that I would have thought would be our longest ever, it would have been that. It wasn't a speed run, not by any means, but it at the end of the day, it did not take us a crazy long amount of time, at least not by our standards. And we have certainly gotten our fair share of these shades for Freenos. And bear in mind, as I said at the beginning, I had not intended to bring Freenos. That was a bit of an accident. So, fortunately, that was not something that held us back, and we did end up getting some decent value out of Freenos here.
The sheer wrath of fire-tempered witch Millenoi is such that to describe how she confronted her remaining prey would be to sorely limit the appeal of this tale.
Mm-hmm.
Return to Shadow now.
Did he say that specifically because we had a bunch of fire boons? I'm actually curious if that was a coincidence or not.
That's more like it.
Alright, that is more like it. As last time we had gone down to rival Kronos. This time, normal Kronos, no problem. The rivals before that, a little bit trickier. Although actually, again, the Hex, once you get the duo on that Hex, it's just so powerful. I mean, the base version without the duo, when it hits, is incredibly powerful, yes, but there's the whole question of, are you going to be able to kite enemies in there or get them to stay in there long enough for it to actually land? But with the duo, it adds a ton of damage, completely removes that aspect, or largely removes that aspect. Yes, of course, you'll still do even more damage if the enemies are still in the circle when the meteor lands, but it's just so good at that point.
That's one fewer possibility that things will run afoul for us again.
Yeah, and we did see there was the option to get a duo Hex that we had yet to try. I think it was, we suspected Demeter on the freeze effect, or the slow effect Hex. We opted not to go that route, and I think, in hindsight, that was definitely the right move. We'll find some other time to get that Hex. No rush.
Your family. You may not be living under the same roof, though you're together still.
It's a little weird using the second person for that statement. We are family. We are in that picture. Okay, but we got at least one prophecy done there.
The fated list of minor prophecies.
From reaching the final fight with the hidden aspect on the flames.
I accept this gift.
So that's great. Then we also got the prophecy for, yes, boons from Hestia, and apparently we have taken all of them. So that's bonus bones, which is especially good because this was not a bonus bones weapon run, so we did not get much of the bones. And then here, what is this one? Oh, this is from getting all of the dresses from Arachne, and fittingly, that gives us fate fabric. That is oftentimes the best way to get it, is from Arachne. Okay. No Moros. There is... Oh! Interesting. I mean, technically Icarus does always show up on the same floor as Eris, but we don't really ever see them interact with each other, at least not until now. Oh, one moment. What's going on here?
I was just picking up a bit. Didn't mean to bother you, goddess. Hey, I like your wings. Mine aren't real, though I had an earlier pair made with real feathers, more like yours, but not nearly as good.
Oh no. Is he... Don't tell me he's flirting. Trust me, she's not your type.
How about next time you see my stuff, you leave it be, alright there, baby bird? Now get out of my face and don't go tripping on your tongue on your way up.
Sounds good. I'm off. Goodbye.
Bye now.
She leaves as well? Yeah. Keep your distance, buddy. She's trouble.
Another victory for the unseen.
Another victory for the unseen. What is the new song?
move
Oh! Interesting. Do we only get access to the Arachne song once we've completed her prophecy? Huh. Alright. That would seem to be the case. Oh, and Dora wasn't in her usual spot, but she is here and can talk to us now. A little strange, but alright. Isn't she usually, even when she's in this area, isn't she usually over in this corner? I don't know.
Dora, wow. What brings you all the way out here?
My thoughts exactly.
Taverna's just about the last place I expected to find you.
Way to make me feel incredibly self-conscious. Thanks, Mel.
Sorry,
But,
Dora.
Yeah, I'm trying to put myself out there a bit more, I guess. Now that you've saddled me with my big, important task.
Well, I think that's great.
though I know how difficult it is. I used to never be able to approach others, but I kept doing it, and it's easier now.
Also, the way how vague Dora was with my big important task is kind of, it takes away from that conversation a lot, because it's like, well, what the heck are you talking about? You could be talking about decorating the crossroads, which is something that we have recently started to do with Dora, but they may have deliberately made that statement generic so that you can have this conversation even before doing any of that decoration stuff, and it still at least makes some sense, but or it could be, you know, relating to our overarching goal of defeating Kronos and Typhon. Obviously, that's, for the most part, already happened, so, I don't know, it's just a little off-putting.
Easier, but never easy, right? I don't know why I bother. Most of these jades are pretty boring.
They haven't met you yet.
Oh. Because, yeah, I do think, in general, Dora has some of the best writing in the game, if not the best writing in the game. So it's a high bar. And we are waiting for that. And here, as I said, we did not get much in the way of bones. We can cash in a little bit of fish. We had bought a bunch of Fate Fabric, so we could get up to the 20 mark, so we could buy, or upgrade, one of the most expensive Arcana cards that costs 20. Now we have a little bit overkill on that. We need a whole bunch of moon dust. We cannot afford enough for it, though, because we need 20. We also can't afford any nightmare, so we might be holding off there. We might pick up nectar, just because we need it so often nowadays, and maybe one of these for bonding with someone, although all of these prophecies for taking the hidden aspects into the bottom floor, the bottom room of the underworld, I think every single one has given us ambrosia, so that's one of the main reasons why we have 11 of that now.
Farewell.
Despite it technically being the most expensive and, I guess, sort of the rarest. Oh, Moros is over here, okay. Hold on. How many do we have? We have 2. So, just double check a prophecy for a second. So the one that I alluded to many times before on this run is this one right here. This is the big one we're trying to do. Free the Fates, seek to know. They who created the world. Oh, okay. I think we only had 2 of these checked off before. It was they who created the world, which was definitely chaos, and he who labors for the gods, which I honestly don't know who that is a reference to. It might be Odysseus, it might be someone else, but he who cast us out, I think we only just got that on this run, which suggests, if I am remembering correctly, that that is because of the conversation we had with Kronos after the Hecate fight, and we did not gift anything to him, so it was just a random conversation. Encountering him enough, eventually we reached the threshold for that to come about. So that suggests that we may not need to gift to, for example, she who trained you. I was potentially about to gift to Hecate for this reason, but that may not be required, and we can instead save our nectar for some of the other gods and goddesses who may still have a prophecy for us. And then he who is our emissary, similarly, I suspect that might be Moros, so I was also considering gifting to him specifically for this reason, but again, might actually mean we don't need to. But what is this? Why does this have an exclamation point? Oh, we're 1 away from chaos. Okay. Getting the 1 for that, and then duo boons. Narcissus, we need 1 more. Echo, we need 1. We did see this, didn't we? And we turned it down. I mean, it's 300 bones. It's useful. It's not game-changing, unless completing that prophecy is required to make other things happen later on, so I'm not entirely sure. Let's see what Hecate has to say, though.
I recall when I myself first grasped the flames of Ignium. I must have been about your age. Now you are possessed of their power.
Yeah, technically they were originally Hecate's weapon, were they not? I mean, you can sort of see right now, floating on either side of Hecate. A couple of torches.
All it takes is a bit of light to cast a long shadow. Isn't that so, Headmistress? I'll do my best to wield the flames as you have taught.
In your own way, Malinoi.
Oh, alright. Well, unfortunately that doesn't seem to be any sort of groundbreaking conversation with Hecate. What about this, though?
So then, were you ever certain you had finally met your doom? Or did you truly think there was always a plan of escape to be discovered, no matter how dire the circumstance?
Just asking for a friend, says Doom Incarnate, to perhaps the single person who avoided him more than any other.
Well, to be quite frank with you, Moros, may we be informal thus? I had the hardest time untangling myself not from near-fatal situations, but the arms of certain goddesses. My greatest weakness, looking back.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Could this be the conversation that we've been waiting for forever for Odysseus to have? He needed to resolve something with an acquaintance, or whatever the phrasing was?
Ah, indeed. But how was this a weakness? As I understand, your wife Penelope stood by your side. I trust I do not overstep. I know this can be a sensitive topic with those from the surface.
Penelope stood by my side, having spent her best years awaiting a man who was not always in a hurry to return. After we each lived out our days, we reunited in the underworld, but we needed a break.
Yeah, that was the thing, was Penelope waited patiently as Odysseus had the longest and windingest of roads from the war back to his home. However, as he has said, as he alluded to here, and as we've said several times before, there were various points in time when he was not exactly the most eager to return as quickly as possible, and at times may also not have been the most faithful of husbands, so he's not without his flaws. He definitely did have some stumbling blocks along the way, and in some cases you could argue a lot worse than just a stumbling block. But it seems as though that's what he's trying to come to terms with here, and maybe that is the reason why we still need to sort some of this stuff through before we can formally, finalize our bond with Odysseus.
I see. After everything you'd been through, did your relationship end in an amicable way at least?
Yeah, and I honestly don't remember exactly how that all concluded at the very end of the Odyssey, other than the very famous scene where he shoots the arrow. I say scene. It's a book, or really a poem, technically. So I read it. I'm sure there are many movies, but anyways, he shoots the way that he proves that it's actually him after having been away for 20-something years is by having a bunch of axe, what is it, like at the bottom of an axe, where the bottom of the handle is, there's like a or actually it might even be at the top, there's a circle at some point, whether it be at the top or the bottom of the axe, where there's a little hole through that circle, and he lined up a whole bunch of those axes and those circles, and he was the only person who was able to shoot an arrow from his bow through all of those holes in the axes. No one else could do it, and that was the way that he proved that it was him. When there were a bunch of people who were trying to claim to be Odysseus because he'd been gone for so long, nobody remembered what he really looked like, or, he had aged enough that it wasn't clear what he would look like. And there were a bunch of people who wanted to be king, of course, and a bunch of people who were trying to vie for his wife Penelope's hand.
It didn't end so much as changed, but
So yeah, he was definitely quite a bit older by the time he did reunite with his wife, but I don't remember does he then live happily ever after with his wife? Do other things happen afterward? I don't, of note, I don't remember that. I mean, the Odyssey kind of ends at that point, I think, but there may be other myths that extend beyond that chronologically. Okay, so now my question is, does this mean he is now settled up with a few old acquaintances? I mean, we can't gift to him right now, but maybe next time we encounter him, that may be possible to gift once more. Oh. Did we not plant anything last time? Did I just completely
Here
forget?
you grow strong.
Seems strange. Not sure what to make of this. That seems unlikely, but I suppose it's possible. Every once in a while, I wonder if there are signals that the time at which I save before ending a run, ending a recording, is such that it may not always remember everything that we do at the very end, right before we wrap things up in the crossroads. There's a chance it didn't save us planting the seeds. I don't know. I may very well have just forgotten. But anyways, we did make it back. We did succeed on this run with the hidden torches aspect, and I cannot tell you how many times I was absolutely convinced that we were not going to pull that off. Not sure if Skelly has anything to say to us, other than just his little remarks from getting beat up by our automatic attacks. So, yes, we did eventually manage to pull off a successful run with the torches, and one that was our highest fear run thus far with the torches, so didn't hold back in that way. Definitely some close calls, or at least it seemed like there. Honestly, I guess there weren't even nearly as many close calls as we thought. You could argue that Rival Hecate was the closest of calls, and again, that was not so much a risk of us dying as much as we just were running out of patience. As soon as we got that big hex, we were surprisingly okay, even against all the bosses. Or the mini boss on the first floor. That was actually maybe the most questionable part of the run, but we pulled it off. And that means the prophecy is complete for this weapon, and now, conveniently, the bonus bones weapon is the axe, and we'd probably like to do the hidden axe for our next run, because that is the one hidden aspect that we have yet to use.
If I'm to serve the
Unfortunately, that does want us to go up, and theoretically, I imagine that much like with all the other hidden aspects, it's going to want us to go down, so we'll figure that much out, but there you go. It can be done with this aspect of soup pie, I already forget how you pronounce it. We may have just gotten extremely lucky. I don't know. I can't exactly imagine I'm going to make a point of using this weapon aspect anytime in the future, but at least we checked off the prophecy. So that's going to be it for this run. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.